Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We've got our final Zap Lalo video that we have for this season because as some of you may know, I basically am trying to experiment with a new army every season on this account of mine. And just for your reference, basically if you're new here, I try to explain what I do in my attacks along with weaknesses that are there on the base that you can capitalize on with certain armies. So yeah, the army link will be in the description. Here's what I have on my heroes in terms of their pets as well as their equipments, and that's about it. You can just have a look at that. My clan castle spells are wrong. I have one skeleton spell and two freezes over there, but that's about it. Let's just get into the attacks. Alright, first base we have over here typical anti-2 style setup where you have that double poison as well. And I can tell you, like, these walls are just trying to make sure that your heroes at least definitely like get stuck in this poison over here. Overall, it's a good layout, I guess, for root riders. I've seen this around very often, but we've got Zap Lalo, so we're gonna absolutely take advantage of that, and we're gonna break this base down for you guys. So phase by phase, let's just think about what we need to do. We need to figure out a place to zap, and the zap usually is placed such that you can follow it up with your heroes easily or your siege, like that is your flame finger, very easily. So I think the answer on this one should be fairly obvious. You should go for either of these pockets over here. Like, you can get the expo, scattershot, and multi inferno. You can choose either side, it's just a matter of preference. And what that does is we create a hole in the middle of the base like this. So now from here we can already see, like, okay, we cannot really use our flame flinger over here. This is just going to enable us to kind of have our heroes go to whichever side that we want to, and I'm gonna argue that going to the left is better over here because this side of the base is just a lot easier for our heroes to take down. And honestly, these ricochet cannons with the ground expos are not too much of a threat for us, so we can have that section taken out by a Lalo. So you're just gonna see I'm gonna easily like have that setup just starting pretty soon, and I'm just gonna forward to it. And basically what you need to do is you after you zap and you understand, okay, like this is how I want to send my heroes, right? You need to start thinking like, okay, if my heroes are going to start like coming down over here, like you can already see I'm trying to set it up like that, then how can you actually continue with your Lalo after that, and which siege you need to use? So over here I am confident that, like, I'm not expecting my heroes to reach all the way to the town hall with this approach. And you can see I've started all of my tanks down over there. The king and the queen will go. I've honestly wasted my ice golem and giant. That was a big mistake on my part. But yeah, we've got one wall break over here and one more wall break over here, and I should come with a skeleton spell down over here really soon to tank the monolith. That should actually allow our heroes to like stay safe for a long time. And yeah, sadly the skeleton spell pulled a poison tower. It is what it is, but our king and queen are going to be able to easily handle this entire area. So what next? You'll notice that usually people try to start the Lalo around from where the heroes are, and in this case I can advise you to do something similar but not exactly the same thing, because look at the sweepers, they're pointing in this direction. So you need to actually start with your royal champion and take advantage of the fact that your king and queen are tanking for you in the area. So don't wait for them to die, just get started. Just start with your royal champion and your Lalo, and look at how the loons are going to start pathing. They're not going to be in the face of the sweeper. And even my blimp, right, like you can see I've dropped the headhunter, two headhunters, one hound to catch in my vulnerability as well. And you're going to see I'm going to start following it up with more loons coming in from this area as well. That is one other mistake I made. I could have started those balloons much sooner, but you can see like this base is just so weak to the setup. Like, now the Lalo is going to be practically free. my royal champion still has her ability as well. There's no way that this Lalo is not going to take out this entire back end. Like, look at what's left. My royal champion only just now used her ability, and we still have so many balloons with one hound as well. So it's just that simple. Don't go in the face of the sweeper unless you're confident that you can like take most of the damage down. And it should be easy to rotate around the holes that you should make. You should try to plan your zap value that way, either using your siege machine or your heroes. That is all you need to set up your Zap Lalo. And in this case it was an anti-2 style setup where I used a blimp for the town hall. And you can see it was a very simple setup just because of the fact that I started my royal champion and some of my Lalo from over here before my heroes actually died over here. and that made it very easy for a lot of cross tanking to take place throughout this entire core area, and it just gives your entire army so much more survivability. And that's all you need for Zap Lalo. Sometimes your loons are very vulnerable. If you have your heroes lingering in some area, your loons can just handle everything for you. That's all you need. So now we'll move on to one more base where it's going to be an anti-2 style setup, but we're not going to be using a blimp. So let's just get right into that one. Alright, an anti-2 style setup, but now if you try to look at the differences that are there on this base compared to the last one that we attacked, you'll notice that the town hall itself is very sparsely populated, you could say. Most of the damage lies on these flanks over here like this, literally the exact areas that I'm marking. So what do you do on bases like this? Obviously, first things first, figure out where to zap, and I'm telling you right now that I do not need a blimp on this one, and I'm going to tell you why as well. So let's just get started. What can you zap on bases like this? Here's a few options for you guys. So you can obviously zap out this entire compartment like that. You can zap out, maybe you can probably get like the scatter shot and X-bow, but I think you're probably thinking, right, like maybe the best value you can get is like this combination over here. You can literally get all three of them. It is very, very good zap value, I will not deny it. It is something that you can go for. It is definitely an option. But what I'm going to try to tell you guys on this one is maybe sometimes you can even use your zaps to set up a flame flinger. So what you're going to notice I do on this one is I'm going to actually zap out this X-bow and this multi-archer tower over here, because I can literally place a flame flinger right over here, in the top corner right over here. Maybe I'll have to tank this archer tower with like a giant or something for a little bit, but other than that, pretty clean for me. The flame flinger then can actually go on to get all of this value for me. Remember, we even have yetis in our flame flinger, so this multi inferno should also go down. It should not be too much of a threat for us. And what that does is it enables me to just use my king and queen for this area instead of zapping it out. That's also one thing you should consider, like why should I consider zapping this out when my heroes can just so easily go and grab it? I have two wall breakers with me. If I just get one over here and I get one over here, my king and my queen can actually take care of this entire area all on their own. We have the ice golem. The king, he's an absolute tank. He can tank for a long time. So we're just going to go ahead and do that, and now try to analyze what the base looks like. So over here we're going to zap, and that allows a flame flinger to come in and handle this entire area. So on the large scale of things, this is what the flame flinger is going to help us out with, and this is what our heroes are going to do. So just try to have a look at what's going to be left on the base. We're just going to have this weird area left like this, I guess, going into the monolith. And look at the amount of threats that will be left to your Lalo. We have 4 mortars at the bottom and a single inferno. How is that going to stop us from a Lalo? From like literally no damage is going to come to your Lalo. Even on this back end, it's a monolith. All of these things are just not going to be able to do anything to your Lalo, trust me, because it's all either single target or some weird ground defense. There's just no chance. So you can easily just have a Lalo wave coming in from over here. Just have like 2 hounds to protect against the air defenses, and start a wave of balloons. Honestly, just throw in your royal champion as well if you want to. You don't even need her. So just have the balloon wave going, and they can just go on and easily converge into the town hall, because literally look, there's nothing left. The queen managed to do everything that she needed to. The king managed to do everything that he needed to. My flame flinger is doing an amazing job. It's going to go right over to that multi inferno after this. And yeah, you can see I've started my royal champion actually from the side over here a bit, just for me to get that headhunter very easily and early onto the royal champion. My royal champion can handle it anyway with that skeleton spell. And yeah, just get started with that lone wave. Not much for you to really do. You can see how I'm trying to spread out the balloons a little more evenly so that I can have a nice wave going. I don't want them to clump too much because of red bombs. And yeah, the flame flinger should converge on the top side over there. Royal champion is stuck on the clan castle now, but no problem for us. We've crossed 50%, but look at what's left on the base. Just the town hall and that last monolith at the end. But it's nothing that you cannot handle with a warden ability. We still have our haste, we still have a rage spell, and now we're just now using our freezes to get this town hall down. So Yeah, I've just preserved my spells that way. I've caught everybody in that rage and the vulnerability. So even though things start to split around weirdly over here, it's not a problem. Just our Royal Champion on the Town Hall. More than enough for us, and you can already look at that. We even caught some headhunters in the vulnerability once again. And what's this last bit gonna do against us? Nothing. We still have a Hound left. So sometimes when that Town Hall is in the core, but it is not very heavily protected, be a little more confident. Feel free to use flame flingers instead of using blimps, and I'm sure like you can just get 3 stars like this. Like you saw, there was no resistance to my balloons at all. It was so simple. Just divide and conquer. I just had my zaps and the flame flinger take out the right side, my king and my queen took out the entire left side, and all that was left on the base was, it was not a great path, but it doesn't matter because literally nothing can stop that Lalo at this point, and sometimes that's all you need. So that was another interesting 3-star for us, and we'll move on to another base. Alright, for a change we've got a box base over here and wonderful distribution of defenses. Very very nice. You can't you have a few options, right, for like your zap. So let's just walk over it again, and this time I'm going to give you guys some time to try to figure out what's the best thing that you can do for yourself. So I'm going to mark out some options for you guys, and over here option number 1 is we can zap the X-Bow Multi Inferno, get some damage on the ricochet cannon, and maybe have a flame finger, go for this entire area. That is definitely one option. Another option is to zap this entire pocket over here, the Multi Archer Tower, the Ground X-Bow, and the Scatter Shot. I believe these are the 2 best options, but maybe one other third option is probably the Monolith with the sweepers. That could be good as well, because you're literally taking out a hero killer in the core of the base and there's no sweepers, so you can maybe even have like a Lalo wave coming in like this over here to just blanket the entire thing with under your vulnerability. Nothing's gonna stop it if you remove the sweeper. So these are 3 options I'm giving you guys. Try to figure out what's the best thing you can do and how you're gonna break your army down. Take some inspiration from the previous attack as well. You don't need to always send your heroes around the point where you're zapping. Sometimes even your siege can take advantage of it. So yeah, I'm just gonna give you guys like maybe 5 more seconds. Just think about it a little bit, and yeah, what I'm gonna tell you guys is the best option I think on this base is probably this pocket over here, and you can have a flame finger going on over here without zapping that X-Bow over there, because notice these are air X-Bows, they're not ground X-Bows. So you can actually claim all of this without being targeted by that X-Bow. That's something that's very important to understand. And just small things you need to look out for. Sometimes the defenders, they will not have ground X-Bows, they try to have air X-Bows for some reason. Just completely take advantage of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a hole over here, and we're going to have the heroes actually try to converge towards the Town Hall from over there. So now let's just see it in action. As I've said, like the flame flinger is going to handle this side of the base. These are mostly trash buildings, so after we zap this core out, we can spare a few loons to cancel out these defenses, maybe drop like a few minions or something over here, and easily have like a nice funnel like this. So the flame flinger is covering this area, we do not have to worry about it, and our zaps, some balloons with some other cleanup, can easily handle this area over here. Our king and our queen can easily come in from the top of the base over here. So let's just wait a little bit and see it in action. You can see I even dropped a few archers over here. I only have 2 archers left in my army comp. I was just testing for Teslas. Very important thing you should definitely consider doing in all of your attacks when you drop a flame flinger. Just never, you can never be careful enough. So now here's one more thing you're gonna watch me do. Notice how I'm gonna deploy my wall breaks, right? So I'm purposely trying to clear these buildings, all of these buildings, and now you're gonna see I'm gonna wait for the mortar to drop as well, because what that does is the moment I drop a wall break over here, it's gonna target this builder hut. If I would not have cleared these compartments entirely, the wall breaker could have actually targeted these compartments instead of giving me access into the town hall. And you can see what I'm going to do over here. There's no damage on the queen, so why not? I'm just going to send her in solo for the town hall. And yeah, she's going to activate that invis tower because she's going to attack the multi inferno. But once again, it doesn't really matter too much. She's going to literally take advantage of that invis tower and walk into the invisibility and start attacking that scatter shot. And she has the frozen arrow, so literally does not matter too much. And you can see this is going to be a very, very, very beautiful setup. We're going to start funneling our king to go inside this other area on the other side of the base and Just look at that. Look at how much our heroes have gotten. I'm just gonna start the royal champion over here because there's a small string of defenses that she can very, very easily clear, honestly. And look at what's left for our Lalo. Really, just this much. 3 hounds, 22 balloons. Our warden is not even deployed, and we still have some spells as well. You guys already know it. This is going to be such an easy triple. I'm just going to throw everything. I literally don't even care at this point, just because of how well this is set up. This is all you need sometimes. It's just going to be that simple. So yeah, you can see how I'm trying to drop like 2 or 3 balloons probably on each defense, with some straggling balloons as well, just to ensure that they don't clump up too much. And if there's like red mines in the area, like there's no chance that all of them go down in one shot. Might as well just use the warden ability. This is the only time you can use it. There's nothing else to really threaten you, and you guys already know it. This is just such an easy 3-star. There's not much coverage left for our loons. It's all you need to do sometimes. Try to identify those pockets which make it easy for your sieges and your heroes to get value. And once again, as you saw in this attack, sometimes you don't even need the zap to get to get the siege value. You can just let it work all on its own and just abuse that fact on some basis, I guess. So yeah, that's another very, very easy 3-star for us. Be very patient on your heroes. Let them get the value that they need. And the only part where you should stop being patient is as soon as you feel like your heroes have gotten the value that they need. Literally, as soon as you're sure of it, they don't even need to get the value. As soon as you're sure that they're going to get that value, start your royal champion, start your Lalo. Just get that phase moving. Take complete advantage of the cross tanking, and do not let anything in terms of tank value go to waste. So that's the biggest tip I can give you for this one. So yeah, we'll get into one last attack for you guys, and we'll call it a wrap. Alright, last base over here for the video. It's a nice looking box base, and I'm gonna give you guys a warning beforehand. I'm gonna talk over a plan, and I'm gonna actually tell you guys that I made a lot of mistakes in this video, in this attack, and so I'm gonna even talk about like how you can start recovering your attacks when things go wrong. So once again, 3 phases: the zaps, and then your heroes, and then the siege that you want to use, and then lastly your Lalo. So I think it should be relatively obvious on this one. You only have 2 choices for your zaps, which are very, very good. And I would argue that like it's either like the multi-archer tower with the scatter shot and the X-bow, or the poison tower with the scatter shot and the X-bow. I think these are your best bets on this base. And you already know me. If it's not a rage tower, I'm not gonna zap it. I usually just let those poison towers stay up. So I went for this value over here, and what it does is, I was hoping, right, I could just sacrifice my king over here, and as he comes out, I was hoping that I could actually have a flame flinger for this entire area. Literally, like, it's so much value. I can take advantage of the fact that the king would be tanking this mortar over here, and he will even pull any Teslas and skeletons as he walks through this area. And I was just hoping he would do that, and that easily allows me to have a flame finger to cover so much of value. And then I was hoping that my queen can honestly just rotate around this way, because after zapping out this corner or this little bit in the core over here, look at the defenses that are there over here. What's gonna threaten her, especially with her frozen arrow? Nothing. All I have to do is maybe drop a skeleton spell over here so that the monolith doesn't target her, and she can get the town hall all on her own. So overall, this is what my plan looks like right now. Have the zaps over here, queen to go this way, king to go this way and get this entire compartment, and then a flame flinger over here. And the queen was supposed to just get the town hall, which would leave probably only like this much for our Lalo, I guess. Yeah, like that much probably. And you can see it is a very, very simple path. There's not even much in terms of threats that are there. I just have to focus my warden ability in this area of the base. That's all I would need. That is literally it. But you're going to see things are going to go very, very horribly wrong, and how I'm going to have to just recover somehow. So we're going to start with that zap. I'm just going to get that down. I tried to also time it with the royal champion, but she slightly just evaded the zap radius. It's a little unfortunate, but nonetheless, we're just going to get started. So you can see I'm trying to set it up to have the king go in, and I try to have the queen take full advantage of the frozen arrow over here. And you can see I'm just dropping like literally 1 archer just to pull the aggro back as she's running back to her pad, and the queen didn't even take a little bit of damage. But now you're going to see something very, very bad is going to happen over here. My queen is going to follow with my king because he did not go to the expo first. And so my queen, instead of going towards the town hall, starts following my king. And that's immediately when I know I just need to now somehow have my Sui come in over here. And I do not have a plan for the town hall kill just yet. And you can already see in my siege bar, I have switched to a blimp. I no longer have a flame flinger equipped because I know like my queen is yet to get so much value from this entire area. Like my king is gonna die, but my queen can still get some value in this area. So I'm just gonna do what I can possibly do over here. I've just frozen the ricochet cannon just to preserve the queen's unicorn a little bit longer. And she is going to sadly go to ability right over here. She's probably going to get one ricochet cannon, not too much more. And you can already see what I'm doing over here. Just starting to follow up immediately after my king and my queen. And Royal Champion is going to get this multi-inferno. I'm not expecting too much more from her. If she gets it, well and good for me. And you can already guess what's going to happen next. My Lalo is still going to focus on this area. But now instead of having a flame flinger, I'm going to have a blimp focus on this area. And the blimp is still going to get good value. If I just freeze this area, the blimp can honestly get the monolith and the town hall. And that's good enough for me because what's left on the base, really, this is not going to be a threat for my Lalo at all. And you can see exactly what I'm trying to do over here. Yep, perfectly timed warden ability. But remember, we can't even use a rage over here now. That's the only drawback with this approach. We only have that one haste. I just try to have a lone wave kind of take over the area so that the scatter shot also gets overwhelmed. It's a little slow because of the poison tower, but sometimes you just have to make those recoveries. And you can see over here, I'm just spreading the rest of my loons at the top of the base. I should have been a bit quicker to follow up behind this hound to start going into the last air defense. Just some small mistakes I'm making that you guys can probably catch now as well as I'm talking about it. And what do you know? We've managed to overwhelm this entire backend despite of things going wrong like that, terribly wrong like that. Of course, we have our cleanup going on over here. Skeleton spell that was never needed. I'm just using it for cleanup. Literally, I've just dropped it on the storage because that seems to be the last area that could be standing on this base. And sometimes you just need to recover that way. I probably used around half of my balloons over here. And I noticed like I needed to still cover a lot of space over here. There was a lot of wizard towers as well. So usually all you need to do on those wizard towers that are waiting for you on the edges of the base, drop like maybe 2 balloons on each of them. It's more than enough. It'll save your main pack of balloons from even getting targeted. And just small things that you can do to improve your attacks with Zap Lalo. Small things that make your balloons survive a little longer. And yeah, that's another triple for us. So I hope you guys did enjoy this series. This is going to be my last video on Zap Lalo, at least for this season. I may come back to it later. I'm not really sure just yet, but if you guys have reached this far, give me some suggestions on like what I should try next. The update will drop really soon. You guys already know I am doing super bowlers on one account, and that will continue because it's just such a good army. But if you guys do have any suggestions or even any feedback for me on like what I should do next or how I can improve my videos better, feel free to provide them in the comments. Even let me know in terms of like likes, dislikes, whatever it is, however you guys want to express yourself. It'll just help me a lot. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.